Hello, this is Tony Jones, and I am here with the hardestquestion.org. It is year C, ordinary 33, and I am replying to Russell Rathbun's posts for this week. Particularly, I want to reply to his post on, I'm going to look on my other computer screen here, Luke 21, 5 through 19. Which the Bible people who put it together give the little headings to: the destruction of the temple foretold, and then signs and persecution. So Jesus foretells the destruction of the temple slash his own crucifixion, right? And then they say, "Teacher, when will this be, and what's the sign that this will take place?" And then he goes on this little apocalyptic rant, and that's what Russell writes about in his posts, saying, or in his post on the gospel, saying that his eyes usually glaze over on apocalyptic rants when they come around, whether they're from Jesus or from somebody else. I have a little bit different of a hardest question. Russell wants to know, what in the world does this have to do with the widow that we just learned about last week? I have a different hardest question, and it's this. So Jesus says there are going to be wars and insurrections. Nation will rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes. There will be famines and plagues, and dreadful portents and great signs from heaven. And he also says they will arrest and persecute you. They'll hand you over to synagogues and prisons, etc. Okay. He says in the middle of this litany of completely horrific things that are going to happen at the end of time, he says, do not be terrified. And I want to say, my hardest question is, seriously, Jesus? There are going to be wars and insurrections, nations fighting nations, earthquakes, plagues, and famines, but do not be terrified. So, I get the gist of what he's trying to say. He wants us to remain calm, and he goes on to say later, you're going to get, I'll put the words in your mouth. He also says, don't prepare a defense, which is another question I have for Jesus. So don't be terrified, and don't prepare a defense. He basically seems to say, just let this stuff happen, don't freak out, stay calm, and don't plan on how you're going to defend yourself. I'm going to give you words so that you can testify on my behalf about what it is that you believe and when you believe in me. Seriously, my hardest question is, Jesus, do you really not want us to get terrified when there are earthquakes and wars and famines and plagues? And is that really a realistic exhortation from Jesus to us? That's my question. And that would actually probably be the question that I would preach this week, would be, how in the world do we not get terrified if all this stuff really does start to come down? All right, thanks. This is Tony Jones for thehardestquestion.org.